I can't imagine that this is GPT 5.6 on. I am out of words. Hey, welcome to Emidio's Tech Lab, my channel about AI and model comparisons. For my very first video, I wanted to do the ultimate test, a clash of the titans, and maybe some Davids that might win against the bigger Go labels. For today's test, we will check if these models can build a fully autonomous client-side civilization mod for Minecraft 26.1.2 in Newforge. We are putting 4 of the biggest AI models to the test: GPT 5.6 Sol, Fable 5, Grok 4.5 and Gemini 3.5 Flash. And we are going to test their capabilities directly in their respective coding environments: Codex CLI, Cloud Code, Grok Build and Anti-Gravity CLI. The rules are easy. Everyone gets the same prompt. I will give every model one full run to complete the task, plus 15 minutes of fixing time for errors and bugs. I will obviously not count my slow typing or manual testing into these 15 minutes. At the end, I will give every model a score in these categories: quality, creativity, speed, and autonomy. Quality will contain everything related to the quality of the final result, and obviously some subjective, usage-based remarks, like if they ask good questions, or the ease of use by providing build scripts or things like that. Creativity is simply the rating of how much the model went out of its way to give us something unexpected. Things like adding new, good features, finding implicit requests, and how far it went to give us a really special result. Speed is simply how much time it took to give us the first response, plus how fast the fixing and debugging was. Because fixing is obviously bound to my own ability to find the bugs, I will rate them in a transparent way so you can decide for yourself and give me feedback if I made a mistake. And autonomy is simply the score of how much the model did on its own. Did it ask questions? Did I need to intervene or specify things? More things like that. The final score will be the addition of all of them, but the quality score will have a 25% higher impact and creativity will have a 20% higher impact on the final score. So let's get started with Grok 4.5. Okay, now let's look what Grok cooked. You can check the model is there. Let's disable this one. The model is there, it's loaded. Establish, recruit, seems fine to me. Let's go to single player and create a word. Seems like a good place. There's a second page. We see there is a ledger and a town charter. So we go here. Some structure. We can then go most likely here, right? And we can look what's here. There's like something with citizens. You can build something. There is a deposit option, which is different than the other mods that I saw. There were most likely no, or at least I didn't find any deposit functionality, and you can claim borders and toggle borders. Let's look, yes. See that the border is visible. Let's go and claim this chunk here. There's like an extra graph. Let's go here. And let's go here. Okay, there seem to be normal features. Let's go. Citizen, most likely click on him and then we can select what he's doing. Let's say lumberjack. But the question is he really lumberjacking or is it only by number? Maybe he needs a lumber mill. Okay, it's somewhere constructed. Let's go. Oh, here. Okay, that's a lumber most likely. But he does not do something. Just only more food. Okay, it's passively increasing. So he's not really lumbering stuff, but he's passively increasing his resources. At this point, there's nothing new. The only thing that is special is the deposit hand function, which I tried. But after that, there's nothing new that I would point out. So let's go to Fable. Okay, now let's look what Fable cooked. The mod is loaded. He also put himself into order, which is funny. The other models did not. And everything seems fine. What I also want to state is, while Fable was still in work of creating the mod, he started Minecraft multiple times. He found his own Prism launcher instance, installed the mod there, started it, even clicked on UI elements, like opened the UI, clicked on it to see and take screenshots, which is really great and funny. So a 10 out of 10 autonomy out of the box, in my opinion. So I would say there's nothing I can say more, so let's go to the world and create it. Okay, as far as he stated, he said that there's two ways to go and create a village. First, you can go and create the demo here, and then he will create a city immediately for you, like a preview city. Or you can craft an item for it. And then we got our founding charter. All assets are created from Claude himself, so from Fable himself. So this is the way we can now create a town. I will go here, I can put it down. But I also need to state, in his tests, he opened Minecraft, went over each page, he opened each page like separately, and then tested if everything looks right, which is crazy. That's some like in-depth like working. There is one of our workers. I don't know if he made the skins. I'm most likely sure he did, because I am pretty sure that that this face is not a face from normal Minecraft, right? So we have our Frosthaven. We have our 3 settlers. And we have borders and stuff. So we can go here, we can build a cottage and more. The problem is, I obviously did something wrong. Like always. I think you need this. Yeah, I can give them all different work. It's post me. In this segment I was quiet for the whole segment, because I was lost for words, in a literal sense, because I could not fathom how clean this was. Obviously there are mistakes, you will see most of them later, but still this was more than I expected, and I was really blown away. I can't say how crazy it is. You build your own town that grows and evolves slowly over time. There's a town progression system, and when you level up, you get these really nice sound and visual effects that make it feel rewarding. When new settlers show up, you can assign them to roles. You just click through the options: forester, farmer, miner, builder, or guard, and set what you need most at the moment. There are 4 main buildings you can construct. Cottages increase your settler limit, farm fields produce food, watch posts help keep the town safe, and Plaza boosts everyone's joy. We can also throw a festival to give a joy boost. Ooh, festival. Though it costs 5 emeralds. Emeralds are pretty much chance based. Your miners can find them by chance while working, or you can get them through trade. Trade is basically a random event that can happen each day. It might bring in some extra emeralds if you're lucky. Okay, now we wanted to look at Gemini's result, but it is crashed. He has a total time of 15 minutes to fix. Okay, now it works. It took almost like 4 minutes. We can see it's there. Now we can check how much it is working. Let's go here, create a world. Okay. Now we are in the game. I hope I forgot nothing. Now we can look if there is any like special mayor or town hall. Oh, there is a town center, perfect, but it is a broken block. We can place it, it's wood. And there is someone walking out. Okay, that's great. We can give it a name. Let's call it Gemini City. And we can see there is one Ivan without any job. Now we can look, can we give him the lumberjack? Okay, can't find a flat spot to build. Okay. Whether it is a mistake or not. Let's go. He's not able to find a flat space, ergo we should count this as a bug. Town hall block, it's just a wooden block, okay, great. I place it. Oh! Gemini City. And let's let him build something. Oh, I can hit it. Nice. He's unemployed. Oh, I forgot to say Gemini City. Oh. He's farming. Nice. That's really good. He's farming. I was genuinely shocked by how well Gemini performed, at least relatively speaking. Its version has some obvious issues, but it included all the core features I think a mod like this needs. You can build, you can recruit, and you can have them farm. It doesn't have a level system, but I was still pleasantly surprised by the result. I did a second fixing session because the NPCs couldn't reach certain things, and there were mining issues where they would strip mine downward, but never come back up. At that point, I decided it wasn't worth it continuing to work on it. So let's move on to GPT 5.6 Solve Ultra. Okay, now let's look what GPT 5.6 Sol cooked at Ultra. We can go here to single player. We create a new world. And okay, now let's go. The crafting tells that there is a hall, town center hall, and then also a mayor's ledger. Both of them are craftable. Let's put it down. And we are now the mayor. There is an outpost and 86% civic spirit. I don't specifically can say what it means, but we are in there. There are a population of 4 to 6, 4 residents, 2 farmers, 1 lumberjack, 1 miner. The economy seems normal. cooks food, rations generous, and then there are projects. Maybe we can go and put maybe a cottage in there. We don't see any NPC, right? As far as we can see here. And if you go to the ledger, it is literally the same as looking at this. So let's see what the model has to say. Okay, so in short, this is what he cooked. With the same one-shot request, he only did a virtual town simulation, which is underwhelming, I must say. It is not what I expected, not even one bit. I can't imagine that this is GPT 5.6 Solve in comparison to Fable 5. I am out of words. This is like unacceptable. I mean, literally, it's a Minecraft. How do you come to the idea that when I talk to you with a village thing, right? That you go, like, even if I don't specify it, I mean, that's like, for a big model, that's implied, you know? That's like expected that they understand that this is implied. This is like, I mean, it's not even fun, you know? It's not even fun, you just wait and click, there is no, like, special thing. The only thing you can say is what you want as priority for stuff, right? That's it, there is nothing more. The only two things that you can set is upgrade this and to change this. Like, even if I say, okay, that's a browser game, even for a browser game that's too less. That's like trash for a browser game. And I'm at my maximum level, there is nothing to do anymore. That's it, that's the game. I can't even build a second time. I can't even build a second one. Bro, I'm lost for words. If this is Sol, okay, if this is GPT 5.6 Sol, okay, I don't know, mate. I don't know, mate. That's not it. I was genuinely devastated by the result of GPT 5.6 Sol Ultra. Maybe it was because I tested Fable first, but this outcome was shocking. I didn't expect it to be this lazy. Except maybe the custom block, which looked good. At first I was so surprised that I even asked it if it was a bug. GPT 5.6 Sol assured me that it wasn't. This was intentional. It wanted to make a virtual village. Because of this, I decided to retry using the /go function in Codex, just to see if it would make a difference. You can currently see the new generation in the background running. Since GPT Sol is the only model that got multiple attempts, I leave it up to you to decide if that was fair or not. I will give scores to both runs independently at the end of the video. Taking into account that even Gemini was going for a full implementation and Grok 4.5 was also going fully in, it's really shocking to see that this was the outcome. Okay, now we look at GPT's second try. First we check. It is in here, yes, it loads normally, perfect. We go to single player and create a word. Let's place it. Oh, at least, okay. Now let's go. There is a council focus, okay. Yeah, the citizens, perfect. There is economy, and there are projects. Okay, as far as I can see, okay, you can press G to open it. There is no way for you to specifically tell what they should do. The second try was surprising and disappointing at the same time. I was happy to see that villagers were at least spawning from the town hall, but as the visuals got better, the features actually got worse. There were no upgrades, no recruitment, and almost no setting except for focus. Functionally, it felt quite lackluster. I would even say Gemini had more features than GPT in this attempt. I can't really say this second try was better than what Grok made, but it did win in terms of stability, visual cleanliness, and more beautiful buildings and dashboard. It's clear that the current system prompt structure does not play to GPT's strengths. I'll be doing future tests with much clearer system prompts to see if that improves the quality, so stay tuned for the upcoming videos. I will also test this prompt specifically with Terra and Luna to see how they behave. It's trash still. Yeah, it's better, but I mean, like, literally, okay, the house looks better, yes, okay, but this is literally what Grok made. Yeah, Grok had more features. Okay, we have the results, so let's walk over from the first to the last place. Fable included everything I asked for, and even add some really nice extras on top. When you walk into town, you're greeted with a small hero message that looks genuinely good. The day and night cycles work properly too, even though the NPCs don't go to sleep. But they don't work at night. The UI looks stunning overall, despite a few visible errors. I would have loved to see the villager list sorted or with filters for better usability, but even without those features, it's still very satisfying to use. One detail I really appreciated was the custom pixelated item. It's a small touch, but it shows real care and attention. During testing, Minecraft was opened and screenshots were taken over every single UI page. That extra level of detail makes this feel like a complete, well-rounded package. There were some pathfinding issues, but honestly, the first version does not deserve to lose points for this. It's already solid as it is. Therefore, I gave him 9 points for quality, 9 for creativity, and 10 for autonomy. The degeneration took almost 2 hours, so a score of 1 is more than fitting. This was the hardest to rate. It has almost no reusable features, but still technically works. It has good visuals, but no content to enjoy. I was unsure if it even was worth to give the score of 7.5 for quality. But in the end, I thought about how the things were implemented and I thought that this score makes still sense, but I can't tell for sure. This was a really hard case. Creativity is a 6, the visuals look good and the buildings are clearly designed, but the lack of features drags the score down. Speed in my eyes is a clear 3, as it's on the 1 hour mark. I would love to tell you more about this mod, but there's sadly not much more to tell. I was surprisingly shocked about the result of Grok. I like the resourcefulness of just using the normal villagers in Minecraft. Resources get collected passively, which is obviously lazy, but is still done really well. I like that buildings are actually real buildings, even if they are not fully fleshed out, just a 3x3 field with a suitable block on top. He always builds them this way, but he still builds them. There are some bugs too, but as it is, I would count it as a really solid 9 in autonomy, because I would need to prompt it for 1 or 2 clear bugs. For example, the villager list is not scrollable. At one point you would not be able to change the profession of new villagers. For me, the quality is in the range of 7 because there are clear problems. Creativity is a clear 6 because of the laziness of the buildings and resource gathering, but still a 6 because the buildings are there and there is NPCs walking around. Gemini is also really surprising. He made NPCs that walk and have professions, buildings, and every expected thing that I would expect from a mod like this. He even breaks blocks, which makes it equally creative to Grok, since they both have different strength and creativity. Because of the errors all around, I can't really give it a good quality score, which is the reason why I gave him the score of 5, and the bug fixes dragged the autonomy score to 4. Creativity is clearly there, but I think his creativity is blocked by his coding performance. But because of the ideas of making the villagers go and break blocks, I think a score of 6 is still sufficient. Speed is a clear 9, as even the bug fixes were really fast, but not always immediately correct. For GPT, again, I can't really say much. I can understand smaller models taking the easy route when the task is too big, but I don't think a frontier model should avoid doing the actual work like that. In my opinion, you can clearly feel that Anthropic is putting a lot of focus on alignment and task completion, while OpenAI seems more focused on raw performance and doing the job as fast as possible, even if it means that the output is as shallow as a puddle, as long as it's beautiful and technically fits the description. 3 for quality, 3 for creativity. Speed was okay, but for this output I don't think it deserves the score of 7, which I normally would give for 30 minutes. The autonomy is a clear 10, as I was not forced to interrupt or fix anything. But I can clearly understand if you think otherwise. But I don't think that we need to hit a model that is clearly at rock bottom. So, this was my first video. I hope you liked it, and I would be more than happy if you also drop a subscription on your way. I'm open to any feedback, and I'm happy for any comment in the comment section. See you in the next one.